Hello, Soulful Alignments here. So I was shuffling, and my instructions were to pre-shuffle, and we had a jumper. Oh yeah, but see, this isn't any jumper. This person is a fool. Trust me. They feel like a fool. They want to be the fool for somebody, for a situation, for something different. Okay, so we've been dealing with this. People are trying to communicate and they're having issues. You know how it is when you're in love with somebody and you're trying to tell them, and you think you'd be better off just not saying anything because it's less traumatic for you. Okay, so I've been reading a lot about, you know, people trying to get it on, as in get it going, get it off the ground, okay? And so this person is kind of, they're not mad at anyone in particular. It'll come off that way because it's easier to blame somebody than ourselves. But this person is to that point where they are ready to take that leap of faith. They're ready to just fall face first off that cliff into the abyss. They don't care if they land flat on their face. They're on a spiritual journey. Their spirit's been touched by somebody, something, God Himself, who knows. But this person, they're generally very bold, but there's an area in their life where they've been putting it off way too long, being authentic, like faking it till they make it, like thinking they're not good enough for what they deserve. Well, something has made them think otherwise, so now they're ready to be bold and beat their chest like an ape. They're ready to take risks. They don't care what the consequences are anymore. They would rather know one way or the other what's what rather than sit around wondering and driving themselves mad. You can only stay stuck in your mind for so long before you start losing your mind. I think that's why men go bald headed, is because they're not going to tell us, but they're pulling out their hair and it's their fault. So, yeah. All right. So, like I said, this person is on a spiritual journey. Now, they've been in relationships, they've been married, they've been engaged, they've dated, they've had crushes, they've been in love, But this is a once in a lifetime love. This kind of love, it doesn't come around all the time. You don't find people like this every day, if somebody shows up in your life and they're worth this to you and you don't do something about it, you can't make no excuse and blame nobody but yourself. But this person is very chivalrous. They may have shown acts of chivalry to you in your past, your recent past. A relationship is a relationship. It doesn't matter if you are in a community and you associate through, bonding with people that work in a community and you just bond with them because they work there. That's still a relationship. So in your relationship means the point of the two of the connection. Doesn't matter what the relationship is. But at some point in this relationship, situationship, ship, there's this person's very chivalrous. They may have felt like you didn't see it, didn't catch it because you didn't respond. Well, I'm pretty sure if you didn't respond, you may not have been able to. But they're just kind of standing there because they're froze. They're emotionally froze. They're not froze like they're emotionally stable, but they're froze. They're having cold feet per se. So they've got a lot going on, and they feel this situation is making them, it's overwhelming their heart. Now, when I say they're overwhelmed, I don't mean they're going to die from it. I mean, they're overwhelmed because they want to be. They're carrying this burden all the way to its destination. They're putting down anything that doesn't solidify this love offering they're trying to deliver to you. They don't. They're done. They're putting down what they can't do nothing about. and handling what they can. In other words, you're their focus. Like, they put focus on you, but they feel they could have focused more on you. 10-8. And they didn't. Okay? So they're walking away from a situation that's emotionally draining to them. The stress, the worry, the conflict around them, to them, about them. And they're worried that if they don't, they feel like they're chasing you while you're walking away. So you were the runner or the chaser at one point, and they're the runner. Well, tables have turned because that's how karma works. And now you're coming off as the runner, and they're coming off as the chaser. That's good. That's the way it should be. So that dysfunction was straight. This has been taking a long time. You may be dealing with someone that is very slow moving. You yourself may be slow moving. Why it's so irritating to you to have to wait? Well, that also indicates you have some authority issues you need to work on. So in the meantime, while this person is standing there staring at your ass, you need to worry about that and get that straight. That way when they come back around and throw that cup on you, because they want to have sex with you too, by the way. They think you're smexy. They like it, your butt, baby. So you just have to be patient with them. You just have to be patient and patient. They are on their way. This is somebody that you don't have to question what they say to you. You don't have to question their intentions. You don't have to question, are they? No, and it's not are they, it's when. When. But so this person, I feel like they're aware or have an idea that you're aware, but they know you're not fully aware, and that's okay. But they're in a dreaming phase. They have a hard time focusing on what they're doing at work. They may be daydreaming, getting distracted. Okay, you may be... Alright, so we are dealing with a Sagittarius for a fact. That's the male. The female is not very clear just yet. But it looks like there is going to be some moving to a new home. There's a lot of change coming. This person is going to really just do one up for you. A lot of things behind the scenes are going on. There may be some secrets. Yeah, the Sagittarius is being the magician. They are not wanting this female to know. This female is a gifted and talented psychic, clairvoyant, medium, who is also very empathic and may have the ruling planet of Jupiter. Okay. So, Mercury, my bad. Yeah, so he does a lot of overthinking and he doesn't sleep well. Okay. That's not a real big surprise because she doesn't either. This Sagittarius is a very well-to-do person, very responsible, very resourceful, very self-sufficient, very reliant. This is somebody you can depend on. So the Sagittarius is also learning about telepathy and following their intuition, and is deeply in love with somebody. They also may have association to the sign of Cancer, relative, co-worker, friend. But they're needing to make a decision. So remember when I said they were standing over there? Okay, this is so crazy. All right. So remember when I said old dude was spiritual, right? He's on a spiritual journey. Okay? So here's his little sexy ass standing right there on that little thing, right? See him up here, ready to fall off. He fell off on a horse, standing at the edge of the water. How convenient, right? He fell off the cliff, landed on a horse at the edge of the water, and where'd that card I had go? Okay, oh, there it is. Alright, so there he is. He's trying to throw her this cup, right? So he's standing there, he fell off the cliff, holding the cup. But look, it's getting so big he can't help it. Like, he can't contain himself no more. So he's been holding this cup for so long and wanting to deliver this cup to this woman for so freaking long that it's getting so big that he can't even carry it no more, and it's overflowing. And so he's feeling like he's running out of time. Okay? But so he's hiding. Hiding. He doesn't want her to know what he's doing. He wants like sneak attack her like a lion. Bite her on the neck. He says, I want to get my kink on, baby. Okay. So he thinks this bitch is like this, right? He thinks that she's on the defense, so it's making it hard for him to do anything because he don't want to piss her off no more. You know what I'm saying? He's not trying to aggravate her. So it seems to me like, you know, he's just sitting there doing a lot of this overthinking stuff. All right? So he's got his eyes on her. No problem. He's running right at her. Like a hoe going to church on a Sunday. But he feels like he's just waiting. Because, see, he thinks she's on the defense and walking away. Done left, done gone, right? He said, okay, I'm gone, I'm coming. He said he was coming. She's actively waiting. She has faith. She knows that he's coming. And every time he starts to show up, she knows it. Her body acts on it. So you might have some spiritual gaslighting going on. Yeah, totally a Sagittarius. Why are they trying to seek the assistance of a Taurus? What in the fuck is the deal with that? That's funny. Love, light, and peace, guys.